All right. What's up, guys? Sneaky Cock Goblin back with another video on this Thursday. Happy Thursday. Well, I guess technically recording Wednesday night because if I got to go Thursday, I got to see the new update. But we'll just do it live Thursday here. We'll call it Thursday. Anyways, today I want to talk about the cons of strategic rushing. I know the cons. I always talk about all the positives. And I think there is some decent cons for people that are jumping into this that might want to be aware of. But there's a lot of positives. Like, I've obviously gone over a lot of content, but I'm going to go over a couple things that maybe are cons, but also things that you might need to work on with strategic rushing, or some things to think about. So one is aesthetics. Like, look at this base. This base looks awful, man. Like, part of it, like, if you're a person that likes aesthetics, like, this is not this is not the type of gameplay for you. Let's just put it that way. It might make your eyes bleed, because to be honest, since Town Hall 9, there has always been an aesthetics change, which is nice. Everything has a theme to it. And you can see where I've kind of piecemealed that together with some of my max. But a lot of this, walls, I have some stuff that is not even close to max. Like, look, this is like Town Hall 7. This is Town Hall like 8 or 9. Town Hall 12. Town Hall 11. Like, trying to catch up and piecemeal things together. Aesthetically, it does not look great. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't perform either, and there's still, you get to a certain point where the core defenses, once they're maxed, you still have some formidability. But yeah, aesthetics-wise, your base is just going to look like one of those 90s kids getting a bowl cut, which I had one of those, and those were hideous. Absolutely hideous. I mean, we should have put our parents in jail for letting us get haircuts like that. Another con to it is raid medals, and that being a very scarce resource. You're not really utilized if you are competing, which, if you're trying to go and maximize things, you're using power and hero potions. You're trying to show up and show out. So you can't really spend it on ores. And that's a difficult task to take unless you're in a pretty good clan. Like, we got just under 1,300 clan or raid medals, so we have some extra that you can spend on. If you spend 900 on those two 3 and 3 for the power and hero potions, you have some extra now. But a lot of people aren't. If they're just starting out in a new clan, this is a lot more difficult to do. So just a forewarning there. It doesn't take that long to get up to a decent amount of raid medals. Like, my free-to-play clan that, when I started this summer intern one, this is a month in, and I think we're already at, Capital Peak 7, and I think we got close to, I don't know how many medals, because I come over to the main clan when I do it out on this count, but close to 1,000. So it's not like it can be, it's an absolute pain, but you got to make sure you kind of use them sparingly, because especially if you're free to play, you get a couple from that silver track. But if you're wanting to compete and get the most out of strategic rushing and try to level up and quicker and compete in higher level leagues, you'll need to be using your hero and power potions. And that brings me to my third point is offense. Like, if you're going to strategic rush and you're going to go with a solid clan that's hoping to get to higher masters or even champs, you got to know what you're doing. Because if your base is rushed and you don't know what you're doing, it's really hard for me, especially as a person. I run, obviously, this clan, and I have the say on what bases that I like to put in for CWL. Like, obviously, offense matters a lot. It matters a ton. But if you don't have an absolute baller offense, and there's several guys in here they're not completely maxed in the clan, but they are very good attackers. And I'm going to take offense and participation over defense. However, if you are lacking in offense, your net stars is going to be very low because defense-wise, you're going to get smoked. Absolutely smoked. So, there is kind of a pressure to perform, especially if you're strategic rushing, because if you're not great and your base looks like that bowl cut that you got, then we got problems here. And honestly, that should be the focus now going forward. I mean, the next update, which will be hitting pretty much when this video comes out, being able to train your troops instantly, maybe players will get better and better because they'll be able to friendly challenge. Well, you can friendly challenge anytime you want, but I think people get better when they actually go up and face against new people and new bases, and if they can do that and loot a little bit more, I think that only is to their benefit to get just a little bit better at the game. Another thing that's con is trophy pushing. Like I've not had that much difficulty, and obviously they've changed how trophy pushing is in the game. It's just a little bit different from the standpoint of you don't get as many trophies anymore from your offense and defense. So when you're strategic rushing, sometimes your base isn't that great. So you could get smoked on defense. You lose a lot of trophies. And on offense, unless you're utilizing a power potion or a hero potion, that's going to be rough. Because the heroes, when you are attacking, it is nice having max level heroes. It is people that are very, very good at the game, obviously, can be good with lower level heroes. I've seen people get by just fine as long as you have kind of a maxed offense. But, if you're not, there's part of it's like, well, you better, why can't I donate a blimp? That's weird. Anyways, yeah, so having those heroes up and trophy pushing is just a little bit more difficult. Now, for me, I've found that, being in this area that I am now is not that difficult. We have, it's very not difficult with this attack strategy. By the way, RIP Super Yetis. If you're going to use them, you should use them here tonight. Essentially, they will go away. However, we will get there is a silver lining in the fact that we will get no training times added to the game once this update is going live, which is tomorrow. So at least there is some silver lining to it. We get something. It's not just a total. But this has been just absolutely gross. I mean, as you can see, the base is just leveled. I don't have very good heroes, and dragons will just fly around. So we'll probably get a 3-star here and some pretty darn good loot. So yeah, trophy pushing is difficult. Obviously, if you're in Legends and you have, if you're going up against max bases, like you're only going to be able to push so high because defense really does matter. And if you can't defend against anything, obviously you're going to just be right around that 5,000 mark. You're never going to make that push to higher level Legends, which isn't really necessarily that prestigious, but for me, I've been trying to get to 6,000 on my main base as like a floor, like when the day's over. And I might be close. I'm at 58.5. So we'll see if I can reach that, but that is definitely a difficult metric to reach, especially if you're strategic rushing. Like you got to be pretty much perfect, if you will. So yeah, I guess we got 5 new training camp as I was able to hammer one of those in. And then finally, 5, the changes to the game really have deterred away from straight up rushing. Now there is a strategic approach to it, not only in the core defenses, but what you actually upgrade. So like when we get to Town Hall 16, you couldn't go to 17, and this is why I got delayed in going to 17, because I needed to complete my ricochet and merge defenses. I didn't bother with any of these until they started talking about the update and how you're going to have to for 17, and you're going to have to merge those defenses. Well, that's a lot. That's a lot of upgrades to get all this up to a certain level when you probably haven't touched them because they're not considered core defenses. Well, now they are. I mean, the ricochet cannon and the multi-archer tower are probably the best defenses in the game, and they can absolutely wreck, especially the ricochet cannon. Oh my gosh. If it is able to ricochet into different troops, it is devastatingly good. And so now that's a priority, not only now, but in order to get to Town Hall 18, the multi-gear tower requires you to do things both on the home base and on the builder base. So there is a part where now, you have to do a certain amount of challenges and gear up a certain amount of buildings to be able to progress in the game. And I think this is good. I think it's good that it requires you to experience both parts of the game. It's not like you have to do a lot. Look at this base. This base looks even worse. But I do have my 6 builder, and I do have my geared towers, so I'm able to go to 18. The other thing, too, is even at Town Hall 16, you're not done with your merged defenses. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the last update, and this is why I prioritize these, that they will merge the final 2 archer towers into one. And I think there is still, do we still have our geared up cannon, or are they all done? I don't know if we still have a cannon left. Anyways, the priority has changed. That's right, because we geared it up. So the priority has changed as far as the game goes. So you have to shift that way. And obviously all players have to, but if you're maxed, it's not near as much of a priority or an issue because all your archer towers and all your cannons were already maxed to begin with or close to max. You didn't have to get it up. There was some of this before Town Hall 17 where I had literally level 1 archer towers. I hadn't touched them. So I had to upgrade them all the way in order to get to upgrade my Town Hall. So, overall, those are some cons to strategic rushing. I would say that it's not like if you're going to start this game and if you're going to catch up and you don't really care about aesthetics and stuff like that, strategic rushing is the way to go. It is by far, like I was talking about in my previous video, how I probably will be able to be maxed or close to max besides my walls by the time Town Hall 18 comes out. And I stand by that. I am cruising along here, and things are really starting to come together as far as defenses go. I have bomb towers, wizard towers, and I've gotten my wizard towers up, but bomb towers and mortars are the ones that are far behind. I've finished up my archer towers, and, I'll be working on all these defenses to get them up to max, and everything else, there's a couple max that I'm just upgrading myself, but the rest will be hammered. They'll all be using books. And obviously I do use the gold pass, so that speeds it up. But even so, this was started in February of 2024, and we're 13 months in, and I'd say by June or July, a year and a half, I'll be able to make most of the progress that is needed to pretty much become a max base, which is pretty darn cool. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Quick pivot here. So we're preparing for CWL. I am trying to get maybe a couple more members. There is a couple spots because I do have a couple people that are in the feeder clan. So I'd love for you to join if you are a Town Hall 16. Apply to join here. We are going to Masters 1. I'm promising you right now, unless we hit an absolute steamroll fake Masters clan, we're going to Masters 1 at the end. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if there's any other cons to strategic rushing. I pointed out at least a couple. I know a lot of people sometimes hate looking at this base, but it's gotten some good progress done. So please like, comment, subscribe, and peace.